it upon myself to do a little face reading for the beautiful Miss Glenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was in there till you said the beautiful, and then I knew it didn't have anything to do with me.
The beautiful Larry as well.
Maybe he needs a little more
Yeah,
mascara.
you do have an astigmatism, don't you? Yeah, there you go.
Pulls out glasses.
That destroyed that delusion.
Definitely. Well, Glenda's my little counterpart here, almost. She's my person McNugget, like I call myself too. Another trait of us Latinas: we're tiny but mighty, big personality, small compact bodies.
Yeah, I got nothing to do with tiny but mighty. I just try to live in that shadow.
We have the Napoleon. We compensate for our height with big personalities and mouth.
I was going to bring up the elephant in the room till I realized it was me.
One thing I did notice about Miss Glenda's face, which I'm going to start now, is even though she is a fellow air sign, shout out to the air signs, she has an earth face. Okay, so it's kind of like squared here, a little bit wider. It's still very delicate, but it's still kind of a little bit more like this. So a blog. So, and you could have noticed this changing more. Maybe when you were younger, it was a little bit more like this. Now it's a little bit more like that. You know what I mean? Right. So we're going to consider, and also consider genetics as well, you know, but people who have this face, they tend to be somebody who has a lot of compassion for people, someone who's very reliable, someone who's stable, who is good to like help others calm themselves down, basically, kind of being like a beacon to them. This is also, you're mostly calm until maybe Larry upsets you, but mostly calm.
I never upset her.
Let me see what else I put here from
live.
You want to live. I'm gonna put my now I'm gonna
put
my glasses on now. You can become kind of rigid and stubborn. Okay, that too. So I'm gonna give you the good with the bad, and you may not be that crazy about change. Like you'll adapt, but it's maybe forced upon you. You don't really want to do it. I think that's something like you are a creature of habit, I would say. What you're more comfortable with, that's it. I mean, you'll be open, but you'd rather not. If it ain't broke, why fix it? In other words, okay. You also are sympathetic, which goes with what you do, kind. You're very modest as well. Someone with a face like this is modest. So even though you've accomplished so many things that Grandmaster Reiki, you may not be like, throwing it out there and, kind of showing it off and, trying to make people feel small about it. You may not even speak about it unless somebody asks you about it. Okay. Don't say that's not true, because I know for a fact that's true. That's true. You also like to keep your feet firmly to the ground. And the majority of the time you are very close to family or friends. Like you need that kind of connection, so you can be very close to your children. Even if you don't see them all the time, there's still that very strong connection with them. Now we're going to go with your forehead, Miss Glenda. And also, Larry, you guys have the same forehead here. So it's a little bit.
Well, we are twin flames, so maybe that's where we were connected. Third eye and third eye.
And you can also incorporate astrology with phase readings as well. So I'll go into that in a bit. But forehead, it's a little bit like over here. So what that is, you don't need like a lot of details. You can be somebody who's just get to the effing point, unless it's something really important. It has to do with like your kids or, the grandbaby or, something that really involves you. In other words, but otherwise, like, yeah, what the hell happened, basically? Like, I don't need this to that. Don't go with a long story. Just get to the gist of it. That's it. Yeah, boom. There we go. Let me see. Now, you do operate from your front zone. Both of you do, actually. So this is somebody who, like, even like profile wise, your forehead is the one, whether it's the top, the middle, or down here. That's what you operate more with. So you guys are thinkers. Okay, so you rely, even though you're very spiritual, both of you rely heavy on your brains. You really do. And it's no coincidence because you are a Gemini and then you're the Capricorn. So, I mean, hello,
Yep.
you know. You're also very good at networking, and you'll continue doing really well in networking. Okay, so you do fall in the first zone. So the upper zone is a metal zone, and again, you tend to be deep thinkers. You enjoy thinking. You enjoy learning. You enjoy teaching. You also really like your personal space. I mean, of course, we are obligated to do this or that, but you'd rather be like, like, that's enough peopling today. That's enough. That's enough for one day for me. I'm good. Um, so yeah, you can even get lost in your own head. So like my grandpa would say, "Estás estudiando." So you could just like be thinking, you're in your own world, you're daydreaming, you're thinking of all these scenarios and this or that, talking to your guides, and you have like a whole new world in your head where you kind of can't end up like maybe avoiding people because you're just so stuck in your own world. And it's not like on purpose, but you're like, I have my own planet here. Leave me alone, kind of thing. I have my own people, and everything else is over there. And you guys are just get away from me, kind of thing. So that's what I'm picking up for that part, at least. Now we're gonna go to your eyebrows, and I do like this because we both have this. I do my own readings too. Your eyebrows are to me they go down a little bit like this. You see, like towards back here. That's someone who has a lot of wisdom. That's someone who's possibly, in the spiritual sense, someone who's could have had a lot of past lives. Really, who it's like an old soul and stuff like that. So no coincidence, but people can go to you for, again, information, you teaching them, and hello, this is what you are a teacher by nature and stuff like that. We're gonna go with your eyes. What I got with your eyes, very clever. Can be very clever, okay? And I also feel like you have a sense of untrusting people because even though they're big, pretty eyes, they're a little bit set back. So to me, that tells me someone who is, you'll be nice and cordial to everyone, but it could be somebody you're like, F bomb or whatever, or hi, how are you? And then, sure, you're a medium lady, that kind of stuff. Sure, you get possessed in every adventure you go to. Sure, you channel every 5 seconds. Now, that kind of stuff. You can read people pretty well. And, yeah, you can be very weary of people, all right, and their intentions, all right? So, again, you'll be cordial and stuff, but you know who to set boundaries. So it may be very hard for you to fully trust people, besides obvious, the family and stuff like that, or friends, but maybe you'll just let them in, like, a door. You can only go to this much. This is my personal space. Versus other people too that you really do have them at a, arm's length. Okay, so just saying. Feel free to correct me if any of this doesn't resonate with you.
No, I do have boundaries. And that whole thing about trusting is because I've been burned. When I trusted, I got burned. So, but I mean, I try to give people the trust.
Yes.
I do try.
But you have like, skeptical eyes. It's just, it was going to be in your nature anyways, where you're kind of, as much as you want to trust, you also have that thing where like, I need to set boundaries.
It's a Gemini thing.
And as far as keeping people at arm's length, keep in mind that her arms are not quite as long as
they're like
no, yeah, I didn't flip because I knew they were never going to get all the way over here.
That's why he didn't flinch. Now we're going to talk about lines and wrinkles on the face, okay? So I want to break this down for you guys a little bit on, the over here, before we start all that. The left side of your face is going to reveal your private innermost self, like family, friends. And then your right side is going to be like your public image. Okay. So you can have things that are asymmetrical. One eye can be lower than the other, one nose can be more on this side, your chin, whatever. So we're going to keep that in mind for that as well. And it will meet a completely different thing depending on where that is. And this can also incorporate moles, wrinkles, scars, freckles, blemishes. Okay. But as far as the lines in your face, the way we're going to break this down is the top part of your head, which would be like above your forehead, that is going to be like 15 to 30 years old. So if you have lines up there, especially really like deep lines, there could have been something very dramatic or at least of significance in that age gap. Okay. Others, like if you have lines and stuff around your eyes, which I feel like maybe there could have been something of significance for you in your probably 30s to 40s, whether good or bad, but it could have been like a lot of important things that were, I guess you would say, mark them in your calendar, like a marriage, conceived children, became a mother, whatever it is, you went through a rough patch. But just like when mark important days, like a birth certificate, you get married, a death, or whatever, your face will leave those marks and indent them in your face as well. Okay. So at that time period, that's where you might have had a lot of things happen, whether good or bad, in your 30s or 40s. Okay, so that's what I got for you on that one. So resonates awesome. So do you think you felt like a lot of things happened around that age gap? Those
yes. That was I had most of my children, two of my children. I got separated, divorced, and remarried.
Wow. That was a lot, Glenda.
In 10 years. Yeah. At the best time of my life.
She's been busy, all right?
Miss Glenda's been busy. You know what? I want you guys to know this is going to sound so crazy, but for my ladies out there who like struggle with like fine lines and wrinkles in your face and stuff like that, keep that in mind about what I just said. But this is a thing that you're not going to believe, and it's the truth. It really is. If you had gone through any type of trauma or something like that, where you have at those age gaps, if you're able to do like this shadow work and really like be authentic and be honest with yourself and kind of go through the motion and honor your feelings. I always tell people, honor your feelings. If it takes you a year, F it, honor your feelings. The craziest thing will happen. Those lines will subside without Botox, without plastic surgery, without special diet or billion-dollar creams.
Right.
It actually will start diminishing because you've actually done the internal healing, which is going to reflect on your face. So isn't that crazy? Like I was like, wow, that's so, without sunblock or anything. That's amazing.
Well, if you think that's crazy, why don't you tell people what you mean by shadow weight?
Yeah.
Not everybody knows what that means.
Well, to me, honestly, my personal view on this is
to lie to me, Sarah, please.
Really reflect and be honest with yourself. Why are you feeling this way? Why are you coping this way? What has cost you to, like if, for instance, if you are into substance abuse, your coping mechanism is bad, overeating, whatever it is, you really have to go within and be honest with yourself. And why am I acting this way? Because there's like unhealed things in your life that you suppressed and you shelved them and you kept them up. And you're like, I'll go back to them when I'm ready. But, tomorrow never comes, basically. So this is you really having to look within yourself and, again, honor your feelings, go through the motions, and then, heal yourself, and you'll heal yourself externally as well. So
it has nothing to do with summoning the Dark Lord. Well, you say shadow work, and, people, they take it where...
Yeah, they might be scared of that word. People who maybe are not, know much about the spiritual community, they might be they might think, devil worshiping.
That's why I clear it up. Instead of me putting the words in your mouth, I'd rather have you explain what it means to you. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. So we're not done with Miss Glenda's face yet. Let me see. Now we're gonna go to your nose, Miss Glenda. Okay. So I don't want to get super personal with you, which we talked about, but I'm just gonna a little bit of the gist of it. So what I see with your nose, the way it's pointing, and also your nostrils, the shape what that is, I feel like you try your hardest to save money, or you could have gone through a time period where it was really hard financially, especially and excuse me if I'm on the line, especially when you were like a child, mother, parents, maybe you came from very humble beginnings. So that's part of the personal thing that, uh, but yeah, very
Oh,
humble
it's
beginnings. So
true.
maybe there was
It's true.
not, or you might have felt like there was not enough to go around, brothers, sisters, or parents, whatever it is. So you feel the need of trying to work hard and get, be financially stable now. Okay, or you've been, this could have been like a thing throughout your life once you got older. But the way your nostrils are, this to me shows that you're a giver. You're a very giver. So as much as you want to save and because it's important to you to be financially stable right now, it's hard because you're such a giver, so you might give and give and give, kids, whatever, people, so the money tends to just kind of leave. It kind of leaves, and I'm sure Larry's like,
Well, I
but he's
mean,
working hard, he tries to save.
she's not a hoarder. You know, she tries to do greatest good, and
Yes,
sometimes that means advancing people who,
yes,
are also going through hard times because she knows what that's
yes,
about.
Right.
absolutely.
And money is basically just
It comes
energy.
and goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It definitely comes and goes, and if you're able to help somebody, why not? Anything else? So you can also be someone who's very to other people, very motivational. Okay, you can inspire a lot of people, which you do. Inspire me. I love you. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can tell you about, like your nose, but we'll go through that
Privately.
on the background. We'll go down the background.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about your cheeks. Okay, now your cheeks. Good things about them, but also there's a little bit of the pointiness here. So
Mhm.
this is funny what I told you earlier, that we're like, what's it? What I tell you? We're life size chicken McNuggets. So with you, you are someone who is not afraid to speak up for yourself. Tiny but mighty, especially when you're upset or you see an injustice, or something was wrong or whatever. You will speak up, but you're not somebody who just barks. You will back up, as tiny as you are, your bite. Okay, so it'll be like a little vicious chihuahua. Like,
Now, I like the way that Paul Simon phrased it about Carrie Fisher. Don't piss off the short girl.
yeah, so that's a big thing too. Like, you will be able to back up your words if need be. You're not someone
Mhm.
who's going to say something and run away. You will walk the walk and talk the talk as well. So do not provoke my little chihuahua. uh, Another thing about your cheeks, even though the point is here a little bit, there's roundness here. So whenever there's roundness in the face, this is someone who's naturally kind-hearted. Of course, we all have our pushing point where the vicious chihuahua comes out here and there, but the majority is that you operate by heart. And anytime there's like roundness in the face, cheeks, chin, the nose, this is someone who is very kind-hearted and very open to people, to a certain extent, of course. But yeah, let me see. Oh, and your lips, they're a little bit like mine here, where our lower lip tends to stick out a little bit more than our upper lip. This, Miss Glenda, can get our asses in trouble. Okay.
No.
Speaking of
We have a lot of trouble.
speaking of barking, sometimes what we say can get us in trouble. So that's something we're gonna have to kind of watch, sort of, when we can. But it's so hard sometimes not to. And I've said this to you before. I've learned to temper my tongue, but the facial expressions, I don't. That's a virtue that I just don't think I will ever be able to overcome.
Let's say I didn't push you to play poker in Vegas.
Another thing I want to ask you about too. This to me can also mean. I want to ask: do you have like or ever had like digestive problems? And if you haven't, you might have them. Okay. So stomach problems, digestive problems, that could be something of significance down the line or has already happened for you. And yeah, that's the short version of the reading. There's a whole lot more.
Well, it's good that that's the short version because we got about 5 minutes left.
Yeah. So
Seriously.
but it was great.
Thank you.
A lot of the stuff resonated.
I'm glad.
Some of the stuff I'll take under consideration,
Which means she won't admit to it on camera.
right?
I'm not stubborn at all.
No, of course not.
I'm not a vicious chihuahua.
No, of course not. I just go after you with the knife. Anyway.
We're gonna have to like jump though. It's like, because we're short.
No, I just throw it. Anyway, I've gotten good at that.
She's
Run, Larry, run.
Bring a knife to a gunfight.
Lorena Bobbitt. Be careful, Larry.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Well, those were garden scissors. My bad. Close enough.
Any port in a storm.
So that was really awesome. No, seriously, that was awesome. And I hope that, people call you up or find you because
I hope people don't call her up or find her. I hope people go to the sites that we have posted that we will be posting again shortly.
Right.
I hope.
And then this way, they could reach you, contact you. So it's Moon Girl.
Moon Girl, Carol, and more on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and then Moon Girl, Mistress of the Paranormal on Facebook. Let's see how long this one lasts before it gets hacked again.
I know.
Stay off the one mic, Sarah.
I've given up at this point with the Facebook, but I still engage.
And anybody who really, she's great, and not just because she's my friend, because Sarah, that if I say it's not good, I don't care if you're friends or not, I'm gonna say, but no, she is really.
Why don't we just link? Yes.
And so reach out to her. Looking forward to hearing all about that when you have all the details complete about that event. And you never know, maybe you might see me around. So I'll leave him behind.
So fingers crossed. I'm hoping to maybe head out there in March. Never. We'll have lunch or something.
Yes. So before time ends, I do want to thank everyone who was here today. Lisa, please talk to Moon Girl or myself. You know where to contact us, and we'll help you out. Or anybody else that was in the chat that didn't want to speak. And I do want to say, Sarah, you are wonderful, woman.
I love you guys very much.
I love you. And next week's guest is going to be Christopher Desisari. And we are looking.
Ghost Boy!
Ghost Boy, yes. We're looking forward to hearing all about his experiences and all about what he has coming up. He's very excited.
He's got a big year planned,
yes,
from what I hear.
Yes.
And I'm hoping he got a hold of Elon Musk and he's going to become Space Ghost.
Elon Musk is down the street from me, okay? Right at the beach.
So
knock on his front door and be like, "Can I have a car, please?"
well, we're gonna say goodbye, good night, blessings to all, happy new year, and I know next year is going to be a better year for everyone.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We
So
love you.
any of you that aren't happy with next year, you know who to talk to.
Really quick,
Bye.
Aries is going to be amazing. Capricorn, Pisces, Capricorn, Taurus are going to have an amazing next 5 months. You heard it first, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll be
Bye.
seeing you too in March then, because that'll be amazing.
Bye.
Take care.